Number 5. This statue's short kilt and striding pose are favored for the statues of high officials during the 4th century and were certainly chosen for their evocation of the great tradition stretching back to the Old Kingdom. Although the owner's name is broken away, the long inscription indicates the individual had a high general's title, held offices at Busiris and performed restorations there and in Abydos for damages that resulted from the foreigners, a description that must refer to the Persian occupation. Indeed, works at Abydos during Dynasty 30 are documented by archaeological and inscriptional evidence. Moreover, the strongly modeled chest musculature and details of the style seem to fit well in Dynasty 30, perhaps even the reign of Nectanebo I, 380–343 before Christ, suggesting that the statue's inscription may indeed be a contemporary account by a high military official. Number 4. These figures represent Yuny seated next to his wife Renenutet. Yuny, who lived in the city of Asiut, was a chief royal scribe and holder of many other offices, perhaps including that of physician. Additional inscriptions on the base of the statue further elaborate Yuny's responsibilities. On the centerfold of Yuny's pleated skirt is an inscription that reads, "May everything that comes forth upon the offering table of the god, and all pure food that comes forth from the great enclosure, the temple complex at Heliopolis, be for the chief scribe, royal scribe of letters, Yuny, justified." Renenutet affectionately places her right arm around her husband's shoulders. On the back of the statue, she is described as a singer of Ammonry. In her left hand, she holds by its metal counterweight a heavy bead necklace called a met. Met necklaces were ritual implements that were held in the hands and shaken like cymbals, especially in the service of the goddess Hathor, but also when entering the presence of other deities. Number 3. In Amarna art, the daughters of Akhenaten and Nefertiti express the tenets of the new religion. Gathered playfully near their parents, they suggest creative force, emphasize the sacred grouping that is the royal family, and enact the intimacy that was a subject for the newly expressive art. This princess had the traditional child's sidelock on the right, but behind her small face or skull is an exaggerated extension that is perhaps the most recognizable characteristic of the Amarna family. The words "King's Daughter" on the back pillar are superfluous. The architecture of the cranium and face are expressed in a minutely detailed way that is almost unsettlingly vulnerable. A slight turn of the head and the rise of the stone just at the break on the left side of her face are indicators of an original group sculpture. Most probably the group included another princess who may have walked slightly in advance, while this child trailed behind as children do. Number 2. The image of a lion, which symbolizes the pharaoh, subjugating a Nubian, one of the traditional enemies of Egypt, is frequent in early Ramesside art, especially during the reign of Ramesses II. The usual rendition shows a bowed Nubian kneeling before a lion that holds the back of the man's head in its jaws. Undoubtedly, this protome shows the pose in an abbreviated form. 2 fly whisks with gilded lion heads were found in the tomb of Tutankhamun, and this protome may also have decorated a royal fly whisk or whip handle. The lion's hollow neck has 2 small holes, allowing the piece to be doweled in place. The piece has been dated to the reign of Ramesses II. Because there is no indication of lacrimal or tear, lines beneath the lion's eyes, a common feature of late Dynasty 18 representations of felines that is often lacking in early Ramesside. Number 1. This statue has the visual form known for the god Bes, but the form was actually adopted for depictions of numerous other gods, usually ones related to Horus. This association might be related to the protector role of Bess-type demons in relation to the newborn son. Egyptologists use the term Bes-image to describe such works, or in cases where the name of the god represented is not known. The inscription on this example reads, Hor-Asha-Khet, who makes Levi, son of Peti-Astarte, born of Tatus, indicating that the statuette represents an obscure god named Hor-Asha-Khet. The offerer's father's name includes the name of the Semitic goddess Astarte, suggesting that the unreadable group of signs following the mother's name might be an epithet of Semitic origin. This aggressively posed image is notable for the refined polychrome surface decoration that articulates the god's physical features and the minute details of his regalia. It incorporates at least 7 distinctive metallic hues derived from the use of a wide variety of metals.